Just over 2 weeks ago, this alley between Oakshire Brewing and Builders Electric, it looked a lot different. It was the scene of an officer-involved shooting. I want to take you over here where we actually just witnessed, my photographer and I, a hot spot rise up with those two plumes of smoke that you see, flames that were going above the trees. The ODA says since there's no evidence of the virus being transmitted through food or food packaging, that there's no reason to recall items just because someone on the plant or the farm may have tested positive for the virus. If you follow my gaze here, you'll see they have markings on the ground for how far apart each party should be standing. It's kind of silly, but it works. Imagine the fire is this watermelon. The fire is the pink part within, and the control line is the rind. Nadie sabe cuando llegará una emergencia, pero no importa quién sea usted o qué lengua hable. La policía dicen que debería poder acceder a los servicios 911. Now I want to show you a perspective that's in the sky right now. This is something we haven't seen a lot today, which is that blue sky, but you can see it is sharply contrasted. They do say they have it relatively under control. There's no fear of it spreading any further, but they're still here. Third, keep the car wiped down because the particles that rest in your car could be making your problems worse. A lot of us have been doing a lot of this, searching through Netflix or Hulu for a movie to watch during quarantine. But starting tonight, our options are expanding. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Emma Jerome. It's 8 o'clock on January 5th and we will get to your stories in just a moment. This is the report of what city officials did not want us to see. We begin with breaking news out of Albany, where a man is accused of running over his wife and killing her, all while drunk. One man is in custody in Corvallis tonight as police investigate the death of a woman whose body was found in his hotel room. And meteorologist Andy Moffat is live standing by in the Storm Tracker 9 Weather Center with a look at your forecast. Andy, tell me something good.
Oh, this one's for you, honey. She had touched so many people's hearts in her life that they all kind of were shining that love back on me.
Mary Kay definitely had a way of just making everything so beautiful.
It was her sense of giving and basically that she was pure love. I don't know, I guess her legacy is that you know, if you lead a life where you actually care about people, then people are going to remember you.
She and I and the little one went on a moonwalk. It was just beautiful, and the leaves were actually illuminating in the light from the moon and from the street light, and we were literally dancing in the shadow of the tree leaves, and she was just so full of life like that.
Because that's who Mary Kay was. Brian Alexander lost his wife Mary Kay to coronavirus and then tested positive himself. Today he's sharing the legacy she left in her wake, a woman he says touched the community around her. Though unable to have a proper memorial, Brian says his church mentioned her passing in a live stream they had the following Sunday.
I felt like I was kind of dedicated to her. So in my heart I was like, oh good, she's able to have a service now in this way, because who knows when I'm going to be able to have an actual service for her.
It has been a few weeks since Mary Kay passed. Now Brian has a message for anyone he hopes will listen.
For people out there who still are not taking this virus as seriously as we all should be, what sorts of things would you have to offer to them to maybe get them to take this a little more seriously?
Most likely, if you have coronavirus, you won't get very sick. You know, you may pop a fever, have a cough, but if you're that one person in, I don't know how many, or one of your loved ones is that person, it can just move through them like wildfire and they're gone. So please be serious about this. It's not a joke.
Brian says Mary Kay's spirit is not gone. It is living on in the lives of the people who knew her, who know her. You
don't have to be famous or do something completely awesome. If you treat everyone with love, then you're famous.
In that thrift-store dress, Mary Kay.
November 12th, 1970. It started with a whale.
Well, the whale stunk really bad right at the site.
Followed by some out-of-the-box thinking.
They came up with a plan like, let's pretend basically like it's a big rock on the highway and we'll just blow it up, you know?
And what comes next was the stuff of legends.
Right after that, it started snowing rancid blubber, little tiny pieces. There was just no escaping it.
Larry Bacon was a registered Guard Coast reporter, only a few months on the job.
I had a Rolleiflex camera around my neck, and I was like, I didn't even think about taking a picture. I was just looking up there.
His article from that day beginning with, "It was a beautiful day to blow up a whale." He says it's a story that's followed him for 50 years.
And that's attached to my name. That's the one that they wrote a column about when I retired. That's what was featured in the column. And I'm sure it'll be in my obituary.
And he's not the only one with a connection to the event.
I wrote my college thesis on this.
Chris Van Vechten drove down to Florence just for the day. There was no way he was missing it.
Pandemic or not, we were going to be here for the 50th anniversary. You know, we were willing to give up Passover. We were willing to give up the 4th of July whale blowing day. That we had to cut the line.
And so it is, 50 years later, a time where people reflect on a bizarre part of Oregon's history and are reminded how not to dispose of a whale. In Florence.
Thank God for the internet.
Emma Jerome, KEZI 9 News.